Welcome, everybody. This podcast is Lava. My name is James Font. With me, as always, I have Silas Whitlock and Sam Schumacher.
Don't mock my name.
Schumacher and Sam and Silas Shoemaker.
What?
Oh, I married him finally.
Oh,
Thanks for
fine.
saying
No,
yes.
no, it's Sam Whitlock and that sounds so wrong.
Oh, Sam
Sam
Whitlock.
Whitlock.
So wrong.
For whatever reason, the name Samuel Whitlock sounds like it should be in like the 1700s.
I was just going to say
Be like,
that.
I am Samuel Whitlock,
Samuel L.
third
Whitlock.
signer of the Declaration of Independence.
Or you just be
Fourscore
like-
and 7 years ago.
So, anyways, this
or you-
podcast, what?
I was going to say, or you'd be like the owner of a general store.
Oh, that's even better. Come and get your flowers and grains here.
You
My
need
lady,
shoes?
you look dashing today. What can I interest you? Some fine linens.
You need eggs?
Well, I
I'm-
just need some bread. My family's dying because it's the 1700s and I'm not.
Can I sell you a plow?
I need some grain of bread.
What about a
sir.
cow?
Grain of bread, sir. My family is dying.
Or a sow?
How about
It's Samuel Whitlock, the old Ryman general store
I
manager.
need just bread, sir.
I took an arrow to the knee.
What?
That meme is dead.
I'm basically an NPC at this point, right?
Yes, yeah.
So anyways, this podcast, Sam did the research and suggested, since it's Christmas, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I'm wearing
Merry
my hat
Christmas.
today.
He is wearing his hat. Check it out in the Instagram. Morning eggnog. Good Lord. This podcast is Lava
Don't
on
get
Instagram.
your pods mixed up.
I
You know?
get my pods mixed up. So
Keep your
Sam's
pods
suggestion.
in order.
Sam's suggestion was that we watch the Star Wars Holiday Special that was made back in 1978.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know it existed, Silas?
I did not know existed.
I didn't.
You guys did not.
No, I didn't know
Really?
it existed.
Oh, this was like extra special then.
And
Yeah,
I love
so,
and
I just-
hate you for this.
I just want to. It's.
I want that hour and 40 minutes of my life back, please.
So Sam made us watch it. I only got 30 minutes into it because I
So
procrastinated.
he didn't even get to Jefferson Starship.
You didn't get a Jefferson
No,
Starship.
I haven't gotten to. I haven't
He's
gotten to the
singing
good
into
parts
a
yet.
PVC pipe, dude. It's great.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like some sort of psychedelic hallucinogenic trip
People
that's
were-
going on in the background.
Do you guys know how much the movie cost to make? Or it was a straight to TV movie.
Well, okay.
Yes.
Well, you got to think of the math. Okay, so how
No,
much
no,
did
no.
no. You got to think of the math. How much did LSD cost back in the day? And they used a lot of it.
They used
So
all
I'm
of
saying
it.
it's probably like
No,
a
like, they
$400
used-
million production, but not for any of the equipment or production or anything else, just for
You
the
made
drugs
it,
involved.
You made it far
According-
enough in just to see the Wookiees, and as long as you saw the Wookiees,
Oh, it
you knew
was
that
so
drugs were
bad.
involved.
It was so
Dude, they
bad.
all
The
look like-
dad Wookiee was so creepy.
No, I haven't.
What was it?
The first 5 minutes, I'm spitting. The first 5 minutes
It's just
is Wookiee. It's just Wookiees talking.
No, it's
it's rhino mating calls. That's what it is, guys.
It's Mala, Lumpy, and whatever the frick the father's name
No,
was.
no, it's Itchy. Or
Itchy.
Itchy, yeah.
So
It's
this,
so
this is what
bad.
makes no sense, right? You have to imagine like Chewbacca, like that's an alien name. Mala even is like an alien kind of fitting name. It fits in the Star
Yeah.
Wars universe. You have to imagine now that in this universe, Chewbacca named his son Lumpy, and his father's name is Itchy.
I'm telling you guys, this is rhino mating calls.
This is actual uncut footage.
So what that is a freaking Wookiee
Child.
making an airplane noise. We're gonna hang on. Let me play it a
Which
little.
it
no,
sounds
you-
exactly
get it
like his
right.
talking
Get it
voice.
right.
So it's,
This is the first chunk of the movie. Oh, it's so bad.
Did
You
you
have
guys-
to get that right. That is not an airplane.
I know
sound.
it's not an airplane.
is
It's a
a-
spaceship.
That is a T-45 X-wing starfighter.
okay, Sam.
Anyways,
stop.
do you know how much this
No.
thing costs to make? According to
Okay, well,
The whole entire profit margin of
you've
A New
got
Hope.
you've got all of the you've got like Harrison Ford, Mark
It
Hamill, you've
didn't
got
co-
Carrie Fisher.
okay. Let me,
You've got
Back in
Jefferson Starship. You've got it's a
Art Carney and the other guy. Those are two
he's
famous
making up names.
Those are famous comedians
Bart
from like back
Carney.
in the day. Art Carney played
and
like
R2D2
the
as R2D2.
That's what I was gonna say. There's a person in there.
That's
There's
That's
a
not fair.
Tom Baker, I think
It's
his name was.
racist.
There's a person inside. Unless there wasn't for this episode.
Maybe there wasn't.
There's
This
ordinarily
episode,
a
it's one of the movies.
person there's normally a person inside of that trash can.
Oh my gosh.
And they're just like C3 Anthony Daniels as C3PO and R2D2 as
That's
R2. I'm like,
sizist.
what the-
Just because
what
he's
the-
a midget, that's not fair.
Midgets don't
stuck
count.
in a trash can at one point in the filming of the original movie.
All he's doing
they
is riding a
forgot him.
tricycle. That's not fair. Like, come on.
Exactly.
He's
They
just going
forgot him
beep, boop, boop,
inside
beep,
of the
boop,
R2D2 suit
No.
when they went to lunch during the filming of A New
I
Hope.
heard about this.
So
Isn't that terrible?
So it's just like, help! Help! Come on, guys! Help!
No, he didn't sound like that. He said beep beep doop boop boop.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Except
he can't
angrier.
even speak English.
And then he did the Wilhelm scream.
they had that. They had that.
They did have that
movie?
in the end of the.
Oh
in the
yeah,
end
you
of it.
didn't see it.
I
That's
haven't
You
seen
didn't
right.
make it to that, so I guess.
So I watched the movie last night. It was a horrible movie. I watched.
I watched a horrible movie last night too. I did
didn't
it
watch that.
all for this podcast.
I
When do you
watched-
contribute to this podcast, huh? Maybe you should start.
Anyways, Silas, you're wearing your headphones wrong.
No, I'm not.
No, I am.
Left,
Anyways,
left, right.
I watched
You insane.
I watched The
don't know where-
Nutcracker and The Four Realms.
That was a terrible movie.
Did you watch it?
I watched it in theaters. I paid money to see that.
I paid $20
Oh my
What-
god.
for my wife and I to
did you
go
go to
see
the
it
Bryan
in
Theater?
Fort Wayne.
Oh my gosh.
Because
no.
that was the only place it was showing, and that's the movie that
Did
the
she
people
like
we
it?
that was no.
No.
It was a horrible movie. Anyways, this movie, Star Wars Christmas Holiday, cost $1 million to make.
That just hurts.
Do you know how much money it's now?
I don't know. you
Oh, in
can
like
probably
modern
buy-
In
dollars?
1978, it was $1 million.
What
In
did they
two-
spend the million on? Because
in
surely it
two-
wasn't special effects.
In 2008, that is 3,900,600. Well, I screwed
You
it
know
all
who
up.
they spent? They spent it.
3.9. It's almost $4 million in today's money.
So I'm
That's
just gonna go
not
out
much
on a-
money for a movie. Just saying.
Do you see?
No, it's not.
They spent all of that on their flute music
Wait.
and their Wookiee sounds.
I know what they spent it on. Just see the limb that we're out on. I'm going to go out to the very tippy edge of that limb that we're on.
Do it.
And I'm just going to say that most of it was to pay Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and
Han
Harrison
Solo.
Ford
I mean, yeah.
to be in this movie because you could see the agony in them as they
my God.
delivered the
really
lines.
bad.
They
It was
hated
so
it.
bad.
So you know they had to have a really big paycheck at the end of it, like a
So the movie actually cost like $10.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, for real. And all they had to do was hire Jim Morrison to grow out his hair and make Wookiee costumes with his hair.
And Harrison Ford was barely in the. I've
And then
seen
they
a half
didn't
hour.
even
He wasn't
have him
in
in
it.
it.
very
That's
much.
not even fair.
No, like he isn't in it very much at all.
No, he just has a couple scenes. Like
Yeah, towards the end, he comes back at the end because, of course, at the end they all reunite as a family. They
Yeah.
take glowing snow
Oh,
globes
man.
and they're like,
guys, you're gonna ruin the
movie
movie for me,
Life's
Sam.
day is special for me and you.
I'm fairly certain that this is the point when Harrison Ford was like, "I'm done with this stupid trilogy.
And
I
yet
don't
he
want to
came
be in
back
this
for
anymore."
3 more movies.
Oh no,
Or, well,
And
poor
made
guy.
so
well, he
much
did actually come back
stinking
for 3 more
money.
movies because he
But,
came
like,
back for
that was
Empire
that
Return.
was when it
Force
changed for
Awakens.
him.
The Empire Returns.
But you,
well, Empire
oh, man,
Strikes
it was
Back.
so bad.
Got it. Empire
Return
and
of the
Returns.
Jedi.
You weren't even.
Who are you talking
So
to?
in the movie,
Oh my gosh.
they have a portion where
Well, no, I saw that part. Wait, what are you talking? Are we talking about the VR?
no,
Okay, never mind.
I guess I'm
There's
skipping a little
porn
farther.
VR in it.
Well, now we're gonna talk about that. So
Oh, it's so gross.
So in the movie, there's like this general store guy that's like a friend of the family.
Yeah, that's Art Carney.
which part? I've
He's
seen
from
it.
the
It's Art Carney?
Honeymooners back in like the 40s and 50s, like a little
Oh.
comedy show.
And so he like brings gifts and like he gives this like
That's right.
telecommunications thing to the kid.
Yeah.
He gives like this
Computer.
little computer thing to the mom, and then
Oh
for
my
the dad,
gosh.
he gets like this
He's like, I know what you
virtual
want.
reality chair that like projects your fantasies onto this little screen in front of your eyes.
It looks
and
like
then,
it looks like a hair dryer from like a hair salon.
I'm pretty sure they just
Spray
use that.
paint one.
Yeah. And then it's just whatever your fantasies are presented to you. And apparently this guy was into like sparkly black people. It was great and awful.
Who was it though? Because it was a famous singer. So like
I don't know.
his VR vision is of a famous singer singing some
She's like, you know.
Oh
song.
my gosh.
She's like, you look pretty adorable.
Oh.
And then he pushes the button to make her say, you look pretty adorable.
He does it like 4 times.
You're pretty adorable. You're pretty
And it's-
adorable.
and
He straight
You're
up looks
pretty
like my
adorable.
sister's dog.
You're pretty adorable.
He looks worse
You're
than
pretty
your sister's
adorable.
dog.
You're pretty adorable. You're pretty adorable.
It's like George Foreman gave him an uppercut to the chin and sent the chin of
I
through
will
his eyes.
I will post a picture of this on the Instagram. This podcast is lava.
Yeah, beautiful. That'd be great so that people
Yeah.
can understand. Or, it's free on YouTube, so really you could just go out and watch
I'm gonna put a link in the description to watch this. It's on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
If you want to agonize yourself for an hour and 38 minutes.
Hold up. No. This is no. Okay, sponsor. Guys, if you want a great Christmas experience with your family, pull up YouTube. Search for this movie. Watch it with your family. It's full of laughs. It's full of it's a heartwarming story.
It's a family story.
Just get together with your family, make some hot cocoa, put some candy canes in it if you're into that, and just watch this movie with your family. And then you
And
can all both love and hate this movie
make
together.
sure to take
it's
off
just
your shoes.
it's just a family bonding time. And then it's a new tradition. Every year you can just put yourself in agony and then immediately open up gifts and forget about all the pain.
I think we should watch it every year for the podcast.
It should
And
become a
review-
yearly tradition.
We should
Um,
review it on the podcast every Christmas.
No. I quit. I'm done.
You're
I'm
done.
out of here. Bye, guys.
So Sam has a sheet full of notes that are kind of scribbled all over the place. What are some of your notes about this horrendous movie, Sam?
There in the movie, there's like short sequences of action where you kind of piece together the story of Han Solo and Chewbacca cannot get home to their families for Life Day, the celebration of life. And
AKA Jesus' birth, because that is what's happening in this universe.
actually, it's not. It's
Yes, it
you
is.
get glowing snow globes, and then you go into some old Star Wars set pieces
You know what those
with
are?
a lot of fog, and then Princess Leia, who is clearly high, starts singing.
You're like, come on, Fisher. Can you not
She
be on
hates
drugs for
herself
these
so
shots?
much.
She did.
So much.
We miss her.
She's like, can you not be on
Rest in
drugs
peace.
for these shoots? And she's like, what?
Well, okay, so two factors. One, back then, everyone was doing drugs. Two, you
Harrison
had to be
Ford
on
wasn't.
drugs to make it through that setup.
Harrison Ford wasn't, and you could tell because he was actually in pain. and
He was
like,
actually
I
angry.
really
He was
hate
just
this.
so
It was
angry.
basically like he was perpetually being like stabbed in the neck with
That
a
was the
blunt
moment-
butter knife.
That was the moment when he was like, I think I need to start doing drugs. Look at how happy
But-
Mark and Carrie are. Why can't I
Yeah,
have that happen?
I would actually admit though
Mark
that
is like, so, oh no, this thing is smoking behind me. I better go fix it.
And
Twist,
yell at-
twist
what
with
was
a
it?
wrench.
What was it with Mark Hamill's face in this?
I don't know,
the
it was weird.
eyeliner.
Was it? Oh, you know what? Okay, I could be wrong. Someone would have to Google check me on this, but I'm pretty
Google
sure this
check.
was he had a car accident and he was so bruised in the face that was the heavy makeup. I completely forgot about that until
Yes.
just the second.
But that was also, I mean, that would be.
It looked weird.
I mean,
just
that was
looked
also
really
at the
weird.
end of the A New Hope that happened.
Right, and this was after New Hope.
Yes, I
Right
know, but I just
after.
mean like,
Yeah, so it would fit.
yeah, it would fit.
But his hair was different, and he just looked
He didn't look like
different.
Mark Hamill.
right.
It looked like he was in a car accident and had a lot of recovery time, and so in
That-
order to make him look
That
somewhat
makes so much
decent,
sense.
they
Wow, that's amazing, son.
yeah, I'm pretty good at this kind of stuff. My notes
You're
are
like
terrible.
Sherlock Holmes.
So Silas had a few notes. I didn't. Again, I only watched about 30 minutes of this, and I didn't enjoy it. I don't think I'm going to finish it.
My notes, no, you have to finish it.
Okay.
That's your homework
No.
for this week. My notes are more like bullet points. I guess I would say there's a point where Willy Wonka and Julia Child's love child is teaching the mom how to cook. And
That
I'm
was
pretty
a-
sure.
that
Oh
was
my
a-
gosh, I forgot about that
That
part.
was a
Oh, it
nightmare.
was so bad.
And of course, that's the same actor that plays like 7 characters in this show.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Pretty sure Willy Wonka
Yeah.
also experimented on that child because it had so many arms that just came out of nowhere.
No, he just inbred it like 16
mix,
times.
Mix, stir.
No, just stop. No.
Stir, beat.
They didn't know how to like stop the scenes in that. It's like they were like, "Yeah, man, keep going." with
Well,
this.
that's
I like
Keep
that's
going,
what
it's
I was
great, it's great.
that's what I was
Yeah.
getting at is what there's like these 5 minutes of action, and then it would be interspliced with these really weird, uncomfortable 10-minute long dance sequences,
Yeah.
song sequences, home cooking sequences, and let me just point out that in this particular episode, out of all the other Star Wars movies, more than anything, it looks like they just straight up went to some home that was decored in the standard 1970s,
Yes.
early 1980s
Yes.
decor, probably like mid 1970s, because it actually looks like outdated. If it was made in 1978, it looks like it's like mid 70s, and it's Star Wars, but you're in the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, for real.
Like, she's wearing an apron. The Wookiee is wearing an apron, and then she's doing cooking on a cooking show. It's like they have no
it's
sense. They have no sense of
so
that they're
bad.
in a Star Wars movie. Like they're just in a weird Brady Bunch episode where they all get teleported to an alternate universe, and everything is the same except there's Wookiees.
I'm pretty sure they filmed that at the same studio where they filmed the Brady Bunch, because at one point you can actually
Makes so
hear
much
them
sense.
doing like the Brady Bunch like intro.
Yeah.
Like this one point, if you listen real closely,
Here's a Wookiee,
his name is Chewie.
and he has another mother named Mala.
Wait, that's his mother?
No, that's his wife.
James!
That's what I thought. I didn't see it. Sorry.
No, okay, hold up. Just give me a minute.
That's his That's his
No,
father.
you ruined the theme song. That's what I was yelling at you
No.
about. You threw off our groove. You're lucky I'm not big enough to kick you out that window, because I would.
You are big enough to kick me out the window.
James, did you make it to the cartoon?
Yes, that was another thing I want to talk about, because that makes me...
No,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
scared
Okay,
now.
dude, I gotta show you a picture.
Are you going to show him Harrison Ford or
I'm gonna
Mark
show.
Hamill?
I'm gonna show him. So, so this is Mark Hamill.
He looks even more methed out in real life.
All right, and then this is my face while watching the entire thing.
Make sure to send me
It's
these.
not playing.
Oh, okay.
Make sure to send me these. Send me these. Oh my
He's-
gosh.
So I don't know how. Like, okay, Mark Hamill looks like Mark Hamill.
For the most part, at least
It
he
looks
does
like-
in this show. Like he looks like himself in the holiday special.
Like,
Harrison Ford looks like a shoe
well,
that
I
got
don't
run
even,
over by a
I
tank.
don't even know how to explain this. It looks like he went into hyperspace one too many times, but he had his head out the window and it just elongated his face.
Just stretched it.
And then his eyes are like super, like, it looks like a horrible caricature.
You know, okay, so there was one good point in it. Boba Fett was a pretty cool character.
Yes, I liked how he had his like third eye thing where he was like, did you see that? Like it winked at, like not
Yeah,
winked, but
yeah.
blinked. He was like, hello, friend. And he's like, bah, 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 and he shot people.
It is cool. That's
pretty
actually the
cool.
first appearance of Boba Fett in like the whole Star Wars universe. They made him as that cartoon character, and then they made him in The Empire Strikes Back and into like a real live action character.
Dang.
But here's another thing with that whole cartoon, the whole thing. Did you notice C-3PO?
Yeah.
Did you notice that he blinked?
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
No,
I didn't
he
get to that
blinked.
part.
And,
And
he
he-
blinks like one of those
Like
aliens
a
from Men in Black.
reptile. Yeah, like a
Yeah.
freaking reptile.
I don't like it.
Bloop, bloop.
He blinks sideways.
You know that scene in Men in Black where Will Smith has the alien up on the roof? Okay, I'm explaining every single scene. No, it's like the beginning of the first one. And like,
yeah, the guy blinks sideways.
yeah, he blinks sideways.
I don't like it.
It was weird.
C-3PO blinks like windshield wipers.
Yeah.
Sideways.
And then it also looks like his body's held together with like a slinky or something like that.
It's
He's like,
ridiculous.
boing, like he had like very, I don't know, it was weird.
Unfortunately, like I actually only enjoyed it just because Boba Fett was a cool character and B was really well voice acted. I thought.
Yeah, I would
Like
agree.
he's like, I am no friend of the Empire, and I was like, oh, dude, that's a cool voice. Like he sounds like a really kind of
Yeah,
sounds
like
really
you want, like the
menacing.
way how
VA
you want Boba
character.
Fett. Yeah. And notice he was the only one that had accurate lip sync.
Yeah, because he had a helmet on.
Yeah, so you couldn't see his lips.
Oh
move.
my
Perfect.
gosh.
It's perfect.
What?
What you just
Oh,
said.
okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't get my own humor sometimes.
Apparently not.
But yeah, it's so weird. Like there's some decent parts in the whole episode. There's some decent
Mhm.
parts, but I think that most people probably get to that first dance sequence where like the little Wookiee goes over to the chessboard from the Millennium Falcon where they play chess,
Oh.
and instead he turns it on and it's just gymnastics, and it's not even good gymnastics. It's just, look, I can flip. Oh, I have a funny
is really bad.
horn. Oh, look, I have a leotard.
Yeah.
I
no,
can
for real.
juggle a juggle thing. Like, that's all it was. And it's like, oh, this is bizarre. And it's got this like.
And the entire time, you're sitting there thinking, for sure, this is going to end any second now. But it goes on for like would you say, like 4 minutes?
The minute you think that it's going to end, it goes on for an eternity
It
after
just
that.
like it just like, oh no, I've got another breath of life, and let me do some more ribbon twirls, and let me spin from this
yes.
thing over here.
And then suddenly I'm going to be life size, and then inexplicably I go back to the size of the chessboard.
yeah,
What?
it was.
What?
But that was every single one of the sequences that wasn't like a part of the story. It like for the weird fantasy VR thing, it was like one of those things where it's like, okay.
It
A
went
little
on.
bit. It doesn't need to
It
go on
went
this far.
on.
It can stop.
Could this
it can
end?
stop, and then it's like, right when you think it's gonna end, she's like, no, 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 no. There's something I don't
Yeah,
remember the lyrics because
and-
I blocked it out of my memory.
The cooking show went on well past its funny point. Like
Oh my gosh, it went on forever and ever and
That's
ever
the
and
thing,
ever
like,
and ever and
Yeah,
ever.
as
these
soon as-
things could have been
Ever and
funny
ever and
or
ever.
like mildly okay or acceptable if they just ended. But instead they're like, this is funny. Kids will laugh at this endlessly. We must continue. Write more of this humor. Humor is the best.
Yeah, no, yeah, for real. It's like they were waiting for the director to be like, "And cut," but the director was so stoned out of his mind, he's like, "Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
It's
so a lot
really
of these
cool,
scenes
man.
were filmed with comedians. So I imagine that they probably let like the one guy that did the cooking show and a few of the other characters. He was actually on the Carol Burnett show. He was one of the supporting actors, so he's familiar with like skit based humor and
Right.
ad libbing. He like the Carol Burnett show is hilarious, and he's hilarious in it. My guess is that they just filmed him and let him ad lib as much as he wanted,
one take."
and they just didn't cut it out. They just left it all in.
It's like if James didn't edit the podcast.
They're just like, this is so funny. We can't choose between what to leave in and what not to.
Oh, this is
do
so
the whole thing. Are you sure? Do it. I want all of it in there. It's so
Or-
funny.
Or they were like, "This
George
is so
Lu-
bad, but
Mi-
we
George-
paid him like 10% of our budget,
Crap, guys.
so we have to use this."
There's 5 minutes of good content in here, and we have an hour and a half spot on CBS.
The only good part is when the mom, Mala, shuts off the TV. And it's like, that's exactly what I need to do right now. Thanks.
Did you? Okay. Was anyone else disturbed? I don't know, James. You made it this far because you got to the part where Mark Hamill was working on the engine.
Yeah, I got to the point.
I think that was actually his vape kit.
that was just his
I got-
Vape
And,
Master
and
3000.
R2D2 kept hitting it, and he was like, "That's my e-juice, bro."
Hey, quit messing up my futuristic
Dude,
jewel.
you're using up all my watermelon. Jewel.
My Jolly Ranchers.
Jolly Rancher. So in that scene, the most disturbing thing was Mark Hamill goes up to the screen. He's like, "Oh, don't worry about Han. You know, he'll be fine." And then he's like, "Now, come on. Let me see that smile." And
Oh my
Mala just, the Wookiee face just kind of like, it just bares its teeth. And he's like, "There. Isn't that better?" I'm like, "What?" did
I think
just-
at that point I was like, "Oh, no, shut it off!" It was terrible.
Oh, man.
It was real bad.
And then I think
I
this
don't
was-
know how you guys what. This
We-
sounds horrible.
we-
I got
we made
30
it.
minutes in while I was doing something else, so I wasn't watching the full thing.
We made it. Then there was the scene where the cyborg just dies while he's doing
Oh my gosh,
he's doing a tutorial for how the kid
I
can
had
set
a,
up.
I had a note for that. Let's see. So he's doing a tutorial, and it's documentation on how to assemble this thing. And my note was worst documentation ever. That was all I had.
It was
to say
the
about
kid's
that.
Christmas present, and he got a tutorial video on how to set it up. The kid Wookiee Lumpy or whatever, and then the guy like malfunctions and dies on screen, and the Wookiee's just like, fine, whatever.
Whatever. I guess I'll just assemble this on my own without
Right?
any knowledge about it.
Oh my god!
But I guess he's a Wookiee, so
And-
that logic doesn't really work.
And I would guess that about 95 to 100% of all the footage of like other planets, Darth Vader, those things, all of it was like B-roll cuts of A New Hope.
Yeah,
All of it
yeah.
was. It was
Yeah.
it was Tatooine, it was the Death Star. It was all just
Oh my
total
gosh,
recuts.
Tatooine.
Total recuts.
That entire bar scene.
Oh my gosh. The guy's pouring the juice into his head.
He had like a volcano head. It was great. She's like, "Drink up," and he was like, "Hey, hey," and like smiles at her and like winks because he like has a crush on her because
Right.
she told him to come back and like see you later or see you soon or whatever.
Yeah,
come back again.
soon. Come back soon.
Can't wait for you to come back or something like that because she says it to all of her customers. And he like, he was like super depressed, like this depressed old guy, and he came back. He's like, "You gave me new meaning to my life," and she's like, "Oh yeah, move your flowers. Okay, I'm gonna move these flowers, and you're gonna buy a drink, and I'm gonna put the drink right here, and you're gonna drink the drink, all right?" And he was like, "Okay, yeah, sure, I'll take whatever that is." And then she like walks away and like turns around. She sees him, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, yeah," and then just like pours it into his head, like this orifice on top of his head.
Oh my word!
It was
it's
bad.
so bad. And then
Oh.
she sings a song. The bartender sings. She's another famous person from the time, I think, who sings like a "Goodbye, everyone, get out of my bar."
Yeah, because there's a martial order or martial law put in place.
And she's like, "Don't worry, come back,
Oh my
get some more
gosh, the
beer."
animated I'm just scrolling through on my
And-
phone.
Yeah, go for it. Scrub through it.
And so, and like people won't leave because they're like, I don't know, they're on Tatooine, so they're all super depressed and like, I just want to drink and get drunk. And so she has to start like this conga line to get everybody
Oh,
out.
so gross. He does just pour it in his head. He just has a giant soft spot like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
just
then
like this
Everyone
gaping
leaves
hole.
the bar from her little conga line, and he pops up from behind the bar after she's locked the door with his flower, and he's just like, "Eh."
I think I looked away at that point.
It
I
just
don't
ends.
remember that. I think I
just
would have started. I would have started screaming again.
That scene ends, and then like the game over thing from Space Invaders, just like
Oh my God.
like it just the whole the screen just like
Like shrunk
closes
down.
it. Yeah. Just,
Oh man.
So again, the technology doesn't
cringe.
even make sense in terms of Star Wars technology.
No, it was completely different. Like Mala was working on like this computer to check the space traffic, but it was just like a 70s typewriter.
Right, right. And when they first show Carrie Fisher, she's like typing on like one of those, those calculators that have the like the paper, like the till paper
Oh,
built
yeah.
in, and you like type it and you hit enter, and
Like a banking calculator? Is that
Yeah,
what they're, or
she basically
financial
just has a
calculator?
big one of those on a desk with like a kind of a space age looking
What?
background, and she's just typing on that. It's just that's all she's doing, but she's looking professional, like.
Like,
then-
accountant Carrie Fisher. Nice to
Oh,
see you.
hey there, Mala. What's up? I'm wearing the same outfit I wore in A New Hope because I never change.
Nope.
And what's up? I'm just working on my senator stuff, because I'm part of that senator, Yeah.
Yep.
Can't afford
Oh,
clothes,
man.
only can afford curtains, which I drape around my body.
Man, this is just
It's just, there's so much to this movie, and all of it's bad.
all of it's bad.
Like, the scene where they're trying to just, like, okay, so, like I said earlier, martial law comes into effect, and they're looking, because the, Emperor, frick, I'm an idiot.
Darth
Help
Vader?
me out.
Darth
Yeah,
Vader. Wait.
the Republic, I'm an idiot.
Oh, the
Or-
Rebel Alliance.
No.
Hmm?
The Empire.
The Empire.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
an idiot.
the
I don't know why I
Empire.
couldn't
was
think
like,
of
what
that.
are you trying to say here?
But like the Empire notices that like there's a rebel ship in the area or something like that, so they put everyone in martial law, and so like they go through it and they're searching like all of the houses, like all of the like stormtroopers are going through and searching all the houses and whatnot, looking for any kind of like Rebel Alliance memorabilia. I don't know.
What you got there? You got a Rebel.
What is that? Is that a toy?
Your father carved you a T-45 X-wing toy out of wood. Oh, that's really detailed. But you know what? You're a rebel. Shoot them all.
Kill the kid. So oh man,
You're a bad
like
person.
this group of guards comes into the house and they're like searching everywhere. I don't know how they didn't find anything because that kid had like a gazillion like rebel toys.
Yeah.
Which is like if you're in that like if that planet's under control by the Empire, why the heck would you buy your child rebel toys?
Look at this, son. I got you the latest.
Hey, I'm gonna put my entire family in danger just to give you a couple smiles and laughs.
Yeah, I got you the latest Rebel Alliance action figure. Look
Yeah,
at this cool
like-
place that I got you from Kenner. Not an ad spot, but hey,
No.
Kenner. The newest
Also, Pizza Hut.
yeah.
No,
I did actually
Pizza doesn't exist in this
I did
universe.
scrub through the one of the versions on YouTube where they had all the original commercials included with the thing. Like, it was just the full TV clip. It's really
Someone
fun.
TiVoed it way back in the day.
Anywho, but so that in that point where they're going through and searching the house, like the one general store manager guy, is like trying to distract like one of the head guards, and like he sits him down at this little computer thing that he just gave to whatever her face is. I forget her name. And he just sits down and he's like taps it for a while, and the guard's like, "Well, stop diddly daddling around. Get it working. I want to see what you've got." And blah blah blah. Like he's genuinely interested in it or whatever, and he's like frustrated with him, but like the guy's just stalling.
Yeah.
And so finally he's like, "Okay, fine." He like flips a switch, and then
another thing starts.
Jefferson Starship.
Yes.
And it was just me, or did the lead singer of Jefferson Starship kind of look like Ted Bundy?
I did not compare and contrast those two, but
I did.
he definitely looked high. No,
but he was definitely singing into a PVC pipe, and that was one of the scenes where it was like, okay, we see that he's distracted. Let's go to a different area. Nope, let's view everything that this guard is viewing for the entirety of that moment. And it felt like 30% of the movie was just Jefferson Starship singing.
It was so bad.
It was really bad.
Just the way that they cut those, like, it was so forced. It was like, so like, here's a thing that you're going to watch now. It's a variety show. It's a cooking show. It's Jefferson Starship.
If you can imagine, like, watching this table and, like, watching this table is like sitting down at a table, like in a police interrogation room where they got the handcuffs on the table. And then every single time you came up to, like, a music scene, you just had your wrists handcuffed to this table, and that's all you could focus on was the music
So I'm
videos.
scrolling through the movie.
And you just interrupted me.
I'm talking about what you're talking about.
You interrupted me.
Anyways, so I'm scrolling through the movie, and a good portion of it is pink with the Jefferson Starship.
That's probably the longest sequence.
It's so long.
And so here's the other thing, like those
it is 5 minutes long.
Those scenes are always, they're just like if you watch a movie where there's like some sort of brainwashing sequence and like some guy's got goggles on that are like flashing images. That's what it's like, but slower. It's like Chinese water torture, but with flashing strobe lights and 70s outfits.
And a guitar and really cool guitar riffs that are like highlighted in pink like fuzz.
So at one point that mechanic, general store guy, you know, whoever he is, at one point he walks into the house and he's like, "Yeah, I got the power converter to fix that well, you know, that
it was so bad.
That thingamajigger." And I was like, was that real dialogue, or was that him literally forgetting his lines and they were just like, "Oh, well, that was the one good take that we had. I guess we'll just leave it in there."
I'm so sorry.
We'll just leave that in there. We can't cut that out. We're above budget now.
Yeah, for real.
We've already spent $1 million on this thing.
See, this is why we told James to do his research beforehand.
No, I already watched this. I'm just getting the clip ready.
Funny, you didn't watch the entire movie.
You know, for the thingamabob. The mind evaporator, that's it, the mind evaporator.
That can't be real dialogue. They can't write
the
that.
thingamabob.
You know, what are these kids saying these days?
Think.
What was your line again? They gave it to me 5 minutes ago. The thingamabob.
I didn't have a chance.
The mind eraser.
I didn't have a chance to rehearse my lines because I had such bad heartburn.
Okay, so there's two more things. This is a bit of a nerd moment that only, like, really ridiculously annoying people like myself who just notice these small details would pick out. But like this was right after A New Hope, and George Lucas probably, I assume, had a heavy hand in making this. He's quoted as saying, if I could stop time and I had a sledgehammer, I would destroy every copy of this show."
Really?
He's quoted as saying something to that effect. He may have said, like, if I had a time machine or whatever, but if he had a sledgehammer, he would destroy every...
Wait, so he has all that money and yet he can't afford a sledgehammer. What kind of a sledgehammer is he asking for? Like a freaking diamond one?
Presumably.
Or is he looking for like a gravity hammer from like Halo 3?
Did you know George Lucas is the richest celebrity?
I'd believe that.
Did you know I don't believe that?
He got like what, $5 billion from Disney?
Who's richer than him?
Disney.
Ben Affleck.
But
yes, Ben Affleck, the acclaimed actor.
He's Batman.
But he's like quit and joined Batman like 7 times.
Yeah, he's also the worst Batman.
So back to the nerd moment, right?
So Sam had a nerd moment.
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize.
There were 2 points that just, for whatever reason, they were small details that I'm just like, do you have anything established where you were at all directing these people and what to do, or did you just leave them go? The first thing is not that big of a deal, but to me it bothered me. the Stormtrooper blasters are based. They're called an E11 blaster in universe, but they're based off of a British submachine gun, 9mm submachine gun that has a magazine coming out of the left-hand side of the body.
Okay.
And all of that is still there, even though it's been like added onto to make it look like a blaster rifle. The Stormtroopers were holding it by the magazine.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Side.
I noticed that.
You never see that again in any of that I'm aware of. You never see that again in any of the episodes.
Did they just find a couple homeless guys? Like,
apparently,
here,
they were holding it like, and their hands are like right next to each other.
I'm just gonna say. Excuse me, I burped. I'm just gonna say, everybody was high, so you got to remember. Okay, think of it this way: you're super stoned, like stoned out of your mind.
And then they say, hold this.
And they hand you this weird rectangular object that's like kind of squiggly and not all at the same time. And then you're just supposed to hold it.
And it looks like asparagus. And
what?
Like, can I eat this?
How else are you going to hold it? You'd be like, oh, this is
you're like,
clearly
this
a
kitten
handle.
is really weird.
And George Lucas is just like, hey,
What?
you,
This
Stormtrooper
kitten.
1, how high are you? And he's just like, sir, my designation is TK421, and it's, hi, how are you?
Oh my gosh. And the other guy's just standing in the background. He's like, these are weird pinky warmers. He's just got the barrel of it on his pinky.
He's like, this kind of hurts my pinky. It's so heavy. It's really heavy.
Like, okay, bring in the other guys.
The only one that wasn't high in that whole like house scene had to be A, Art Carney, and B, the Imperial officer. They both acted fairly well.
What about the kid?
The kid was probably, I don't even know, just probably on like 3 hours of sleep and given a few narcotics mixed
settle down.
into their morning orange juice.
I just imagine them like sitting down, talking to him and his parents. Like, okay, we're gonna make you the biggest star.
Actually,
ever.
the kid probably thought it was awesome.
Yeah, the kid's
he probably
like,
saw
"Dude,
Star
I'm
Wars
gonna
and
be-
he's like,
I'm gonna be like a small version of Chewbacca.
Dad, I'm gonna be Chewbacca. I'm gonna be like the cool little version of Chewbacca in Star Wars.
And
It's gonna be awesome.
That was the beginning and the ending.
I'm gonna
of
be in
his
the next
acting
Star
career.
Wars movie.
Do you
no,
think
you're not? You're only in this one holiday special, and you're never mentioned again.
Do you think they had to Do you think they had to have the talk after he was Chewbacca's son?
Dun dun.
It's like, wait, Chewbacca has a son? What? I didn't know about that. Yeah. Also, his wife and son are never mentioned in any of the other films, are they?
No, never. Because apparently this was so bad that they're just like,
They're like, we need to forget about this.
That never happened. The second moment, and again, these aren't like big deals, but to me, I was just like watching. I'm like, it doesn't look like you're giving them any direction at all. Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon cockpit.
Oh my gosh.
When they're supposed to jump to light speed, I don't know why I know this, but I've just watched enough Star Wars movies to know this. When you use the Millennium Falcon controls to jump to light speed in every other movie.
Wait, hold up. Time out.
Nerd alert.
Yep, I was
nerd
just going to
alert.
say,
You're fine.
we got to warn people here.
You're fine. There are 3 prongs on the console that you push forward. That's
Double
And
nerd alert.
Did he
Double
only
nerd
push
alert.
forward 2 of them?
no.
Okay.
He just like wiggled a knob and pushed some buttons.
So he
And
was
then
literally...
and then the special effect kicks in, and it's like space.
It was just a one-time upgrade. Actually, that part was malfunctioning, and
Oh,
they
that's-
had
that's
it.
right.
It was just like a spare part
That's right.
until their
Sam,
order
you
from
dropped
eBay
your
came
pocket
on.
protector.
I know that's a super small detail, but it
No,
just bothers
it
me
would bug me if I cared.
because if you watch it, it just looks like
It would super bug me.
it looks like he was given his lines,
They're like,
told
"Alright."
to sit in that chair and push some buttons because he doesn't like have any like prowess in how he pushes the buttons. He's just kind of like like
He's seriously just like, I just want to get paid. I just want to go home, and I want to go to bed. I'm tired. This
just
is
12 more
stupid.
hours, 12 more hours on this set, and then I'm done. I
thought
get
it
$1
was-
million. I'm going to leave. I get the full $1 million. There was no budget spent on anything else other than me being in this movie.
Yeah, for real.
Harrison Ford is just like a big, grumpy person in general. Like when it comes to Star Wars, you see, especially
Yeah.
in more modern times,
The poor guy had to go through that special. That was
Yeah.
part of his career, Sam.
Yeah.
If that was part of your career, I think you'd be angry all the time, too. You're not Tom Hanks.
it's funny because like all the other Star Wars actors, like Billy D. Williams, who played Lando, a little bit less so, but like Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, they all owned up to like, this is really popular and the fans love us. It wasn't the greatest movie, but there's a big following, so they like capitalized on that, and I think that they genuinely love their part in it. Harrison Ford, on the other hand, is just like, I hate those movies. I'll never, ever be in a movie like that again. And then he's in The Force Awakens. He's like, good, I'm so glad I died in that one. Thank goodness.
He's like, I wish I would have died in real life before this happened.
I tried crashing my plane.
Unfortunately,
and
this is my legacy.
Fisher was just like, I can buy more drugs with the money I get from this.
Well,
that's how she died.
There's a really tragic story to that.
She got real high. Didn't she die on an airplane?
She had a heart attack or like some sort of cardiac arrest on an airplane, and they couldn't provide proper CPR to her because of the cramped spaces, and so she did die.
Dang.
From that. Yeah.
That's why you always fly private.
Yeah.
When you're Carrie Fisher, you would think she would be.
It actually is really sad though, because basically the reason why she did a lot of her drugs. Now I'm sure like some of it was cultural, like she was alive back in the 70s and a lot of drugs.
She was.
But she got messed up because she really fell head over heels for Harrison Ford after A New Hope.
No.
And at least at one point, I think she gets really drunk at one of the parties, one of the film parties, production parties, and he takes her home and they sleep together. And,
nice.
But then she's thinking like, oh great, like,
now we're together.
I love you so much. And then this is something that I heard from another podcast, and they had done a lot of research, so I'm basing it off of that. I could be wrong, but I think it's in one of her books that she wrote. And from that, he was just like, yeah, whatever. I don't care about you.
He's like, I gotta go run away from some boulders, and babes hold you down when you run from boulders.
It was just kind of sad. Like, she was a young actress at the time. She was like 17 in A New Hope. It doesn't seem like that, but she was
what?
She was really young. She was the youngest of the three of those. So like
Harrison
Luke
Ford kissed a 17-year-old?
No, she was older than that in Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back.
That was Empire.
Empire came out in 81, I think. I don't know. But yeah, Harrison Ford is the oldest at like...
Ooh, she was slightly older.
30. I think Harrison Ford was like 30 back then.
What a babe.
Oh, that's real messed up and sad.
Yeah, it was a very sad situation to hear about. And I think that led to a little bit more. She probably was doing drugs at the time. I don't know.
Same.
Just because of the time, but
I would do drugs if I was so. No, I wouldn't.
But
Olivia said she would leave me.
I think it led to more of her abuse of the drugs.
If I was super depressed and in her exact position, I might do drugs.
Probably. I mean,
if I slept with Harrison Ford and he didn't want to have a relationship out of it, I'd be very depressed.
She actually wrote poetry.
I mean, I'm depressed. I
him.
don't have a relationship with him. Well, not right now, because he's old.
Yeah, Harrison Ford. Old Harrison Ford is not quite as hot.
Old Harrison Ford is both happy.
He's like the human version of a basset hound.
I don't like his earrings.
Okay.
What?
Here's so gross.
This is the funniest thing I've ever heard for whatever reason. Not ever heard, but on a podcast.
This is the weirdest thing.
On another podcast I listened to, they were like, okay, given this scenario, gun to your head, you have to make a decision. Would you rather tell Harrison Ford that his earrings aren't cool or that he can't fly his plane anymore because he's too old?
Earrings, definitely.
And it was just the stupidest, most funny.
That is the dumbest question because I tell him both.
I'd say your earrings are going to interfere with the way how you pilot your plane.
Because you're old.
Because they're going to drag your earlobes down and they're going to get in the way of the controls and go, blah! But you will have one sick way to die, and just saying.
He already tried that once, that didn't work.
Tried killing himself in the plane?
Yeah.
That'd be the sickest way to not die. Like, I'm trying to kill myself, but I wrecked my plane perfectly.
I wrecked my plane badly, but good.
I did the wrong way of crashing a plane.
I landed it.
He's like, oh no, the landing gear has come out. I'm landing this perfectly. Mayday, mate. Dang it, I survived this one too.
I tried, but every time I'm just so perfect at everything that I do. Hi, I'm Harrison Ford. I'm good at everything.
If you have any suicidal thoughts, make sure to call the suicide hotline. We do not think that suicide is the answer.
It's never the answer.
Nope. But talking about Harrison Ford trying to wreck a plane is pretty funny.
Have you ever watched Secondhand Lions?
Yes.
I've heard about it.
I think it ends with the two ornery old men.
Oh, that movie. Movie.
Crashing their biplane into their barn.
Yeah, just because they wanted to see if they could fly through it.
Yes.
But they die.
Yeah, it's a funny movie.
It is a great movie. Who's the one actor in it?
I don't know.
Ralph.
The old guy is
Steven.
It's Alfred from Batman
the
Begins.
Nolan
and like
Batman movies.
Look at this guy. He knows director names.
Yeah, I love Christopher Nolan as a director.
Nolan is very good.
Yes. Man, he's in A Muppet's Christmas Carol. Michael Caine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Michael Caine.
Now see here.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, I'm Michael Caine.
Ruby.
Yeah.
Because that's what he says.
I'm Michael Caine. I know how to be in movies. I've played everyone from Alfred to a guy in Interstellar. Hi, I'm Michael Caine.
Cotton balls in the back of my mouth, and I can't get them out.
Okay, so
Anywho,
any final thoughts on the Star Wars Christmas special that came out in 1976?
78.
I think we should end it with our rating. So out of like rewatchability, on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you guys give it?
-30.
You didn't even watch it the first time, so you can't give. You actually are. No, don't listen to James's review because all he does is buffer through. It doesn't count.
I would actually watch it. I'd make an amendment to that and just say, on a scale of 1 to lava.
Oh,
lava's real hot.
I like that better.
And the number 10 is really hot. It's a hot number.
Really?
1 to lava. What does it say?
I'd give it a solid lava. Just watch it.
Yes, go watch it. Link in the description below.
If
you want to waste an hour and 38 minutes of your life,
it is one of those movies that is so bad. It has tipped the scale from like a negative number to the highest good number because it's that bad that it suddenly becomes ironically
good. Bad movie. Yeah,
so it's like all of the George Clooney Batmans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bat nipples.
Oh my gosh. Okay. No. For me personally, on a scale from 1 to lava, this is my rating. I think that it is a great form of torture, and that should be implemented into all prisons for any of the pedophiles.
That's what they should do.
Yes.
That's what they should do at Guantanamo Bay.
Yes, exactly. Or like, what is it, the Black Dolphin or whatever? Like, implement having to watch that continuously throughout the day.
Fun
fact. That's almost as bad as Shinrikyo. Like when they put the people in the room, they had to watch their leaders' talks.
Ugh.
Yeah. So that's what I say about it. I say if you really want to make yourself feel better about life and enjoy just staring at the wall, go watch it because anything else is more fun than watching this movie.
So it's definitely a lava, like in the fact that lava burns you and is horrible.
And it hurts like
it's like
lava in the eye.
Got it.
Yeah.
So fun fact before we close, right?
All right.
I will say I did not watch this with a group of people. It might be way more fun to watch it with a group of people. I watched it by myself.
I would guess it's better with a group of people who can like agonizingly laugh and cry at the same time.
So maybe watch it in a group of Star Wars nerds that are
find a bunch of Sams.
Yeah. Find a bunch of Sams.
Or
and
find
watch
me.
This.
Take me along.
Yeah.
I'll watch it with you anytime, anywhere, any place. Fun fact: there's a rumor that in Slovakia, in the Russian gulags, when Stalin wanted to get information from FBI agents and CIA agents who were captured during the Cold War, that he would force them to watch the Star Wars Holiday Christmas Special.
This isn't real.
You decide.
Oh my
Stalin.
gosh.
So like
Stalin is a savage.
Out of all the things Stalin did,
that's probably the worst.
I think that's the worst.
I should mention that I don't think Stalin was alive.
Shut up, Sam!
I also want to say he did that, and he also, like, while they're watching it, just would flick the back of their neck with, like, wet asparagus.
What asparagus?
And they couldn't move, and if they reacted, they got tased. That's what it was.
And then while they slept, there was a constant 24-hour loop of the different musical specials that played.
It's just Jefferson Starship the entire time.
Then they had to watch YouTube Rewind 2018 over and over again.
Oh my gosh. Anywho, so
vote for PewDiePie and unsubscribe from T-Series.
Yeah, exactly.
Vote for PewDiePie. Subscribe to PewDiePie.
T-Series is crying for your mama.
So over this holiday, just watch that with a group of friends. Don't watch it by yourself. Don't be lonely like me.
Don't be depressed.
Don't be alone.
Go watch it with a group of friends.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been Sam Shoemaker, Silas Whitlock, and James Font on This Podcast is Lava. Love you guys.
Love you.
Check us out on iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, James Font Podcasts, or just look up This Podcast is Lava. It should pop up. So thanks again.
Bye.
Love you.